Trump was extremely fortunate that the shooter was a lousy shot. I'm going to attach a couple of links that you might find to be of interest, and I'll talk about both of them. The first one was put up by Newsweek, titled, "Trump Shooter Climbed Roof with Gun as Police Watched, Witness Says." Don't you find that sort of really interesting? There's a 3-minute and 45-second clip. I've not heard it yet, so we'll hear it for the first time together. Let's have a listen.
So we had a party here all day. At the, you can see behind us at the Brinkles Farm and Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea. You know. But we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
That's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it.
No, sure. But a high velocity weapon.
It was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
You know what's interesting is that all police have radios that are right on their chests. And you'd think that they would have done something to prevent what took place, but they did nothing. In a chilling account of the events leading up to the shooting at Donald Trump's campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, a witness had come forward with details and raised serious questions about security measures at the event. Greg Smith, who was present just outside of the rally, told BBC that he spotted a man with a rifle crawling on a roof near the venue minutes before the shots were fired. The incident, which occurred on Saturday evening, sent shockwaves through the political landscape and reignited debates about the safety of the public figures at campaign events. According to Smith's testimony, the gunman was visible in the building just outside the rally grounds approximately 5 minutes into Trump's speech. We noticed the guy bare crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us, Smith recounted. He had a rifle. We could clearly see a rifle. What followed, according to the witness, was a frantic attempt to alert authorities to the imminent danger. Smith described a scene of chaos and apparent lack of coordination among security personnel. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police did not know what was going on, he said. The witness estimated that he and others tried to draw attention to the gunman for 3 to 4 minutes before the shooting began. Remember when he said he couldn't understand why they didn't pull him off the stage? Smith shared his bewilderment at the apparent oversight, asking, why is there not a Secret Service on all of these roofs here? This is not a big place. He unequivocally labeled the incident a security failure, 100% security failure. You can read the rest of this article, but you sort of get the picture. Now, the other article that I'm going to talk about is about the shooter himself. So let's go have a look. Apparently had his head blown off, according to his witness, who was Thomas Matthew Crooks, what we know about his Trump's attempted assassin. Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20, was from Beth Park, Pennsylvania, and graduated from high school in 2022. Apparently, he wasn't a stupid person. He was rather bright. Let's listen to this 2-minute and 23-second clip.
So the FBI, I'm being told, has now identified the shooter. Do we have the identity? Can we have this? Okay, so here we are being told, so with the FBI, let me just read this right here. The FBI has identified, the name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. He is 20 years old, of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, as the subject involved in the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. This remains an active and ongoing investigation, and anyone with information that may assist with the investigation is encouraged to submit photos or videos online. And while we're talking about this, let's bring in former U.S. Army Reserve Captain Abe Hamadeh on this. I think it's important, but to you first, Aaron Cohen, it seems to me like everybody who's got this information now of a Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 years old from Pennsylvania, is now going over and looking at his social media footprint and trying to find out who he was involved in, what exactly was his ideology, if any, and what his background was, because that's kind of what we can do nowadays.
Well, we just profiled him based on the age in the last 30 seconds that we were talking. He's 20 years old. It's impressionable. He's physical. He's a male. He's white. He had the capability of being able to get up on that rooftop. Again, very, very disturbing that it wasn't covered, that particular building. Not going to point my finger at the Secret Service, but as the FBI continues to do their investigation, and I agree with the former detective that you had on, let them do their job. Most of these guys are very well, highly skilled, very good agents. They mean well. They've got a lot of tools in the kit, and they're going to continue to unravel based on search warrants and subpoenas that are going to get issued. They're going to start tapping. They're going to start looking at the cell phone records. they're going to start peeling away all of those layers to figure out who he's connected to, if he was acting alone, what his belief system was, to try and figure out what those motivators were that got him out on that rooftop on the day. So the fact that the FBI released this, to me, that's a sign they realize that there's a lot of eyeballs on right now. And I think that they understand that transparency is really, really important, especially with the fact that Donald Trump is as boisterous as you can be. And so I think they're doing it right to try and get this information flooding as quick as possible.
I wonder if you...
Oh, you heard what was said. He was 130 yards away, which is a very, very easy shot. I can put a bullet in a bullet at 200 yards with my 6.5 Creedmoor. At 200 yards, a bullet in a bullet. I've done it multiple times. You know, the thing is, as far as I'm concerned, this is a very, very serious Secret Service failure, with that witness and other witnesses reporting that they saw a man crawling up the roof, and that was about 5 minutes before the shooting took place. Donald Trump's extremely fortunate that that bullet just grazed him. Took out a piece of his ear, I suspect, but didn't hit him in the head. One other attendee at the rally is now dead, and 2 others are critically injured. In one of the videos I did yesterday, I said, with all those shots fired, I'm amazed that no one else was hit. Well, obviously they were hit. I'll attach both links. Look at this Trump, he's defiant. He's got blood on his face and he's defiant. Yeah. Tell you what, if I were him, I would seriously consider dropping out and finding something else to do with the rest of my life. They're not going to give up. They're not going to let this guy back into the White House. And if he's not put in prison by Judge Juan Merchan, they're going to keep trying. That's just sort of what I think. I'll attach both links. You look at them. Reportedly, they took the shooter's head off. Well, they're using probably 308s. And I think what the guy was shooting at Trump was probably a 223 or 5.56, which are very, very deadly. Again, Trump's very fortunate that he was simply grazed. Have a look at the links. Let me know what you think. Pass it along, and thanks for listening.